On one particular day in 2020, I was bored as usual. Nothing to do, nothing that interests me at all at that time. I was just lying on my bed begging to have some entertainment. So I turned to my PTSD and tried to look for trashy shows on my anime list. I don't know why I did that. Just remembering anime always plays a certain dark past that I wish I could forget. If you want to know the full story, link is in the description, you can look at it. I was scrolling down on the Romance tag and just remembering shows that I've watched ages ago and trying to look for something I've never seen. Most of them I have seen and some of them just looks really bad until I found a masterpiece. A diamond in the rough. Something that can change the scale of writing if it became popular when it came out. You might be asking, what is it? What anime is it? The anime is Dragon Crisis.
ねえ、聞こえてる?
Okay. You might be asking, I thought you hate anime. Why the hell are you watching it at that time? Other than being bored, I have Stockholm Syndrome with anime and I cannot escape it. Anime somehow always drags me back in, although I hate it so much. But this show redefined the ways of my life. Something that made me think, I am goddamn insane. Why might you be asking? Well, Dragon Crisis is a masterpiece, but it's actually really bad. I just can't decide. Legit, it broke me on how I feel about it. I can only give this show a 1 or a 10. This show is so bad but so entertaining that it's hard to decide if I love or hate this show. So I am gonna solve, not really, that case today by watching and showing you why I am conflicted with this forgotten masterpiece of trash. Ne kikoteru? Kimi to the nigiri in a fight. Akara sama ni mizaru but a fight. Rabu wa ito no yakuza fight. Watashi dake immortal fight. I, a person with no critical thinking or comprehension of what makes a good show or bad show a bad show, will not and never will review a show, cause I am stupid and my opinion doesn't matter, like my Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal video. Also, I will not spoil too much and try to just summarize it as fast as possible. I don't know how to segue to anything, so let's just have a speed run of the plot right now. Dovahkiin was in a normal class, then boom, Hot Cousin came along and dragged him to steal a treasure from shady people. They stole the case, but the shady peeps chased them. When Dovahkiin protects the case, it opens and Jailbait pops out. They escape with the power of Jailbait that only knows how to stay Yuji. They spend together and realize that she's a Draco. Next morning, a weird scientist comes out of the helicopter to escort them to the lab. They analyze Jailbait and found out that both of them met in the past. They have a boss baby breakup with a twist of Shinji stealing Jailbait to commit Brad kidnapping. They chase after Shinji to retrieve her, with Dovahkiin acquiring his weapon and storming into Tokyo Tower. They stop the marriage and use the power of love to defeat Shinji. Then they have some short adventures with Ice Sword retrieval and Then Dovahkiin wants to be in a society, so Jake Paul flexes her Rolex to Cuckold 1, and then Dovahkiin gets tested by a school bomber and passed. Then Painting shows up in Jailbait, Furry Hot Cousin, and Cuckold 1 gets sucked in the painting because of woman. And gets saved because School Bomb is a woman. Then they go to the lake and Aqua shows up to do nothing and time passes and both Aqua and Jailbait talks about being adults. Rose wants to become an adult, so she let Dovahkiin kiss her hand, which made her horny. She gets too horny and gets hospitalized in the lab, and Shinji strikes again with his lies and his manipulation. They realize that he tricked them and try to get her back by killing Shinji for good with the power of true love and shady laws. The end. So yeah, that was the story. Honestly, I think it's hard to follow, so please watch the show to understand the gist of things, and it is a guarantee to give you one a hell of a ride. So where do we begin? I'll just talk about the things that stood out to me so much it made it a 10 out of 10. Number 1. The animation is better than most modern shows. It isn't that great, but it stuck out to me with some episodes like the Painting episode and the first episode. Seriously, the animation is much better than quite a lot of shows that came in late 2010s. And it honestly surprised me with some of the unique angles that I haven't seen a lot in anime. It legit made the animation more distinct from the rest with boring shots that has absolutely no personality. Of course there are some boring shots, but they have to exist, otherwise it's going to be really weird to watch, like the likes of Handshakers. So the times where they go experimental, it honestly is fun to watch. The second thing is the arcs and episodes that made me think it's a 10 out of 10 in entertainment factor. The arc and the Painting episode is still a 10 out of 10 in my heart. and always in my memory every time I think of Dragon Crisis, so I better talk about these two things. Luckily on my rewatch, they are much better than I remembered, giving me one hell of a time. So let's start with the Too Many Hearts arc first. The arc explains my feeling with the name I gave. Woo! I swear I was watching a comedy with these characters. It's basically a Scooby-Doo episodes, but anime and more questionable. I honestly never laughed at something this hard when I first watched it. Of course, the second time I watched it, I didn't laugh as hard because I didn't want to disturb my family, but it was honestly fun and hilarious. Everything hits correctly with things like who is Ai's parents, which every time I see their parents, it always cracks me up. And who is the main villain of this arc. Just watch and see it for yourself because I can never explain how amazing this arc is without spoiling the show. Another thing that I can never explain how amazing it is the painting episode. Holy moly, I love it. It is something that I never expect this show to do. It was a ride that led straight to an ambiguous ending that never goes anywhere. Don't ask me why, because I think it's just a one-off episode. But let's not worry about that. It is basically a Super Mario 64 horror film. The mystery of the painting is short but interesting with how the curse process works and what is the purpose of it. The only negative I can give is that, of course, the stupid character named Misaki has to show up. I will save my feelings for that character later, but she doesn't ruin too much of this episode and used her in a unique way that plays a big part in her story. I gotta say this, even if you don't want to give the show a shot, just at least watch this episode. It's really fun to watch. These arcs and episodes are pretty fun, but how are the characters? I am too stupid and dense to sense feelings and personalities in people and characters. But I do know how to feel, so I'm just gonna use my emotions to explain the characters and how I feel about them, starting with the boys. Kisaragi Ryuji is a character in the story. He's one of those characters where you put your soul into him and pretend to be one cop away from spending time with Tyrone. He is quite dense and stupid, but the main difference between him and the other pro tags out there is that he chooses a girl very early on. And you might say they really get together at episode 12, which is the final episode. It is still earlier than some anime. Some shows doesn't even have clear winners and just chicken out. He also let me finish my favorite chants when the scene finally gets heated. Now kiss! Kiss, 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 kiss. Hell yeah, they kissed. And a big love heart. That's about it. Legit. What am I meant to say about him? He's OP and being level 10. He honestly just exists for me. Onyx is just Shinji from Fate. Like seriously, other than having the same voice actor, they both act the same. Manipulative, slimy, and a big a-hole. He is a decent antagonist that gives a roadblock into the main character's relationship that eventually dies. Unlike the cockroach Shinji was in Fate. That's like about all I have with Onyx. I don't have much to say about him. Like, man, most of the male characters are just air to me. But who isn't air for me was George. Man, I love George. He's a cool, smart, heavenly, and also a simp. I did call him a Chad for a big chunk of his screen time because of his wild and fun personality. Everything changed when he finally found the love of his life, Maruka. Then he just became kind of to me. It's just sad how they ruin a cool character with the power of women. I honestly don't care about the scientist and cuckold too, so let's just get right into the female characters with who is best girl. Today we have the contestants Rose, Eriko, Mao, Miyazaki, Ai, Maruka, Bianca, Safi, and Kai. Let's just get rid of the obvious jail bait. And yeah, these is the contestants. First of all, we should talk about why these characters are eliminated. They're underage. We don't give lollies best girl. Both give me like an air reaction And also they're a bit annoying, especially Safi, since she's just worse Aqua. Rose is fine, but she just says Ryuji too much, which gets on my nerves. I know she's the main heroine, but she just does nothing to me. First contestant is Eriko, the hot cousin you legally can't bang unless you're in Alabama and Tasmania. She's bold, wild, sexy, and hot. She will make your heart race with excitement. With that stuff of hers, she'll make everyone go wild. Second contestant is Mao. Other being rich and flex watchers like Jake Paul and Rice Gum, she has absolutely no personality at all. Forgettable best friend that just exists for the sake of the plot. Also, she isn't hot like her brother who gets cucked more than Hans. If you know who that is, good on you. The third contestant is Misaki. Misaki is a shy girl that is too scared to show her affection to the main character. I hate her. I hate her so much. She just reminds me of that brown girl from Shokugeki no Soma. Useless and boring. She deserves a cuckolding just to learn how she will never get anywhere in her life if she keeps acting like that. Like seriously, I want her to see her lover banging some other chick while she cries in the corner and masturbates like every NTR. She does not deserve love with how awful she is. I hate her. I don't know why she exists. If she's just taken out of the story, I honestly would love it. But right now, let's just move to the next contestant. The fourth contestant is Ai. She's the brute and caring girl that you love to have beside you. She will always protect her lover no matter what's the cost. What a lovely girl. Having the balls to do something no matter what. Not like someone else. Also, she's a wolf girl, so if you're interested in that kind of stuff, there's a plus right there. The fifth contestant is Maruga. Elegant and beautiful. Does things in a graceful way. Very ladylike, and also a dragon. You would love her if you are into a rich lady with power. I don't have much to say about her since she isn't in the show that much, so I can't really give a full opinion on her. The sixth contestant is Bianca, the resident lab lady. Have a unique sense of testing your physical and mental state. She's your resident bomber with her wacky equipment and a charming personality. She is one of the characters you would cheer on for when she gets on screen. Remember, not to piss her off because she can give you one hell of a whooping with her gloves that can carry 100 kilos. Also, Kai exists. Those are the 6 contestants. And who will win the best girl in Dragon Crisis? The winner is... drumroll please. Eriko no. She honestly stuck out from the crowd being older than her actual age. Apparently she's 19, and that's good for me because I'm 19. I honestly thought she was like 20 something. I don't know, just from her looks, she looks like she's 20 something. I don't know why, but I just enjoy her existence in the show. That's why I chose her to be best girl. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say today. I really love this show despite the amount of bad and boring characters and really stupid but somehow interesting stories. This is still a masterpiece that I really don't want to spoil too much. Though I did actually give the entire plot, but dude, just please watch it. You understand why I cannot decide if it's a 1 or a 10. Even if you don't want to actually watch the show, you can just watch the painting episode, which I already mentioned that out of everything in this show, this entire anime, please just watch the painting episode. All you need to know is that it is an unknown masterpiece in my eyes. That has no credibility at all. I don't have any credibility, so take this as a grain of salt. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna end it there. Big Boy Dumb forgot about the OT slaps hard. Yeah, that's about it. Bye.